Okay, we're back in the normal spot now. This is the chair, and it's facing this way. Sometimes I stand up at the stand up over there, and this is in the front of me. This is in back of me. Okay, now it's reversed. I'm sitting in the chair. Uh, you guys down in Georgia have the Georgia runoff today, and I was talking to Rapid Fire Rachel, who was in Georgia. She already voted. I also talked to Gabe Franco, who escaped the communist country this morning. And I talked to Emily Miller this morning. Yeah, roll call, right? Yeah, I talked to a lot of guys this morning. Okay. I went to Venezuela for one day on a cruise in 1997, and my father saw what was to come. Gabby Franco, who I'm a huge fan of, we all know this by now, she is from that place, okay? And think about how crazy this fucking country is. If the Democratic Party takes over the government, this country could be Venezuela. The Democratic Party has said publicly that their intention is to destroy this country. Okay? The reason why they want to add Supreme Court justices is because they can just add whatever judge they want, and instead of having 9 justices and a 6 vote this way, 3 vote this way, they can have 15 justices, and they can get they basically pick their own judge. Okay, it's no different than, back in the 50s, a Klansman would kill a black guy, and then when he went to trial, his cousins would be on the jury. That's what this is. The Supreme Court, the Democratic Party, knows they're going to be sued in the Supreme Court. So what they do is they take 6 radical Democrats with law degrees, put them on the Supreme Court, and increase the number from 9 to 15. So you basically arrange your own court case. Okay, you pick your own judge. Okay, it's no different than if you got drunk, crashed into someone, paralyzed them, and were being sued for in addition to going to jail, were being sued for $1 million, and you decided, well, I want the jury. I want my aunt on the jury. I want my nephew on the jury. I want my cousin on the jury. I want my best friend on the jury. I want the woman's that I crashed into. I want her ex-husband on the jury. Okay, you're basically picking your own future. Okay, they want D.C. to be a state, and they want Puerto Rico to be a state, not because they should be a state, but because they get 4 free senators. Okay. Now, how long is this country going to last when the Supreme Court is answerable to the Democratic Party? How long is this country going to last when they just print money and mail it out to other countries? I mean, they're going to re-enter the Paris Accord. The Paris Accord was $1 trillion of U.S. taxpayer money being sent to Europe to study the weather. Trump stopped it. They're not going to. Okay? So how long can we just give free money away to everyone? How long is it going to last? Okay? Student debt cancellation. Here's what that means. You go to college. You get a degree. And some people can get a master's degree in business administration and end up, as a supermarket cashier. Some people can get a master's degree in medieval literature and end up the vice president of a company. Okay? College is funny, okay? I've seen guys that have master's degrees and PhDs barely making a living, and I've seen guys that dropped out of high school that are making 6 figures. Okay? But you figure you take out a loan to go to college. Okay. At the end of 4 years, either you upset your degree, upset your education for whatever reason, so you say, I don't want to pay the money back. So now you have a federal law that says college students are no longer required to pay their money back. What is going to happen? Okay, every single solitary bank, finance company, lending company in the country is going to say, on the same exact day, we are no longer giving out student loans because we're going to give you $40,000 and you're not under any obligation to pay it back if you don't want to. Now multiply one person $40,000 by thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of kids, if not millions of kids, and young people, 18, 19, and 20,000 here, 40,000 here, 100,000 here, 200,000 here, okay? What's going to happen is they're going to figure, we're going to lend you billions of dollars to go to college, and you're not going to pay it back. Fuck you. We're not giving it to you. So what happens then is for the next generation, you can't go to college. Because if you get a scholarship, you go to college. If you're from a wealthy family, you go to college, okay? If you're poor or if you're just middle of the road, okay, you can't get a student loan because they're not giving you student loans. So what do you got to do? You got to work for minimum wage for 7-8 years and save up money. How many guys are going to do that? How many guys you know are going to work for $7 an hour for 6-7 years and then go to college? How many guys you know are willing to do that? Okay. How about abortion? Well, imagine abortion to the 9th month of pregnancy in every state. Okay. How about Trump signed an executive order that says if a baby comes out of a failed abortion, because a lot of times we have abortion during the 9th month of pregnancy, the baby comes out alive. Several states made it legal to throw the baby out the fucking window. Trump signed an executive order saying that if you have a baby in your hands alive and you kill the baby, you get total murder. How about repealing that? And Planned Parenthood really does kill babies out of the womb. Okay? 9-month abortion, the baby comes out alive, they'll throw that fucking baby into formaldehyde, they'll throw the baby into a fucking impale him on a fucking spike, okay? How about this? Illegal immigrants, every single Democratic candidate on that stage that time, the primary, said they would give illegal immigrants free health care. They've already said they're going to give illegal immigrants free health care, free housing, free food. What is going to happen to the border? Okay? How is Border Patrol going to stop the amount of illegal immigrants that are going to be coming in here? Now, maybe some rules will be you must have 60 senators. Maybe some rules will say it must be 2/3 of Congress, okay? But they're going to try as hard as they can to squeeze in whatever they can. Okay? They might not get everything they want, but they tend to get, a lot of it. And Republicans, some guys make me fucking sick, okay? I've been a Republican since I was 18 years old. I wanted to be a Republican when I was 2 years old, and I saw President Reagan's commercial, his re-election commercial. Yeah, I'm old. I saw Republicans, and a lot of people say Elise Stefanik is a national hero. I remember the year Elise Stefanik took office, not just her, every single Republican that took Congress that year said in the election, the very first thing we're going to do the minute we get to Congress is defund Planned Parenthood, because Planned Parenthood was doing the body part thing. Yeah, that was sickening, wasn't it? Well, when the Republicans got to Congress, before they unpacked their suitcases, they made sure Planned Parenthood was funded. And what did they all say? Well, we want to get along. Okay. Last year, 2020, the Democratic Party in Congress held a kangaroo trial. This is the United States of America, and in the United States of America, one political party held a kangaroo trial for a sitting president. Did they give a fuck about getting along with you? No. Okay? The problem is when Republicans are in power, they They kowtow to Democrats because they want to get along. They want to be friends, okay? And then when Democrats are in power, they don't give a fuck what you want, okay? Kate Stanley was shot in the back in front of her father, okay? The cocksucker that shot her had been convicted of at least 7 felonies, okay? He had been rotating between in prison, out of prison, deported, reentry, in prison, deported, reentry, okay? He kept breaking the law, going to prison, getting out of prison, being deported, and coming back in illegally. He either found or stole a federal agent's gun, picked it up, 6-hour P229 40 caliber, 10-pound trigger. He pulled the 10-pound trigger, shot a woman in the back. Okay? He said, well, I was hunting for seals and the gun went off. Okay. Every single Democrat in both houses of Congress supports that individual. Bill O'Reilly, formerly of Fox News, proposed a law that said if an illegal immigrant is deported and comes back in, they get 5 years in prison. They deported and come back in, they get 10 years in prison. They deported and come back in, they get 20 years in prison. Deported and come back in, 40 years in prison. Every single Democrat and some Republicans voted that down wholeheartedly and said, well, it's not fair to illegal immigrants. Okay? They don't give a fuck about you. Okay? They saw someone shoot a girl in the back and kill her in front of her father. And every single Democrat supports that individual. They don't want you to have a gun at all, though, but they support that shit. So when you come here illegally and shoot a girl in the back, they support you. When you're either born here or come here the right way and you want to buy a gun, you're a fucking terrorist. Okay? This is the Democratic Party of today. Okay? Now, one piece of shit running in Georgia, okay, he's beholden to the communists. Okay, and I know the woman also, they said she had Chinese stock and she sold it at the last minute. Okay, I heard that story too. I did. One Democrat, 34 years old, never did a damn thing in his life. Okay, he almost certainly is beholden to China. The other Democrat running, okay, he was charged with obstructing justice and a child abuse scandal. Okay, he beat the shit out of his girlfriend, and he invited Fidel Castro to speak at his church. The same Fidel Castro that kills black people, okay? These guys are running for Senate, okay? There was a thing today on Instagram, one of the pages I follow, was talking about Benedict Arnold. How would Benedict Arnold be remembered today? Traitor, hero of this battle. How would Benedict Arnold be remembered today? Okay? Think about this for a minute. Okay, about 85 to 90% of Congress is more, okay, Benedict Arnold was more loyal to this country than about 85 to 90% of Congress. Think about that for a minute. Okay, Benedict Arnold was more loyal to this country than most members of Congress. Okay, this is the world we live in. They cheated in a presidential election, and for the first time since 1789, in less than 2 weeks, the United States will have no president. So the United States will not have a president, the United States will not have a vice president, and the Democratic Party may very well control the legislature and the judiciary. Okay? 2 elections that decide whether this is America or Venezuela. I'm uploading this to Instagram, YouTube, and Rumble. Thank you.